welcome to Release and Marie Yoga and tonight's bedtime flow. So make sure you're all in your comfies, ready for sleep, and grab yourself a pillow or a cushion or anything you might need to make yourself comfortable. So when you've got that and we're ready to begin, we're going to lie down in Shavasana. So taking the arms, palms to ceiling, away from the body, taking the legs to the corner edges of your mat and letting the feet flop out. And while we're here, we're going to take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Settling onto your mat and preparing the mind for tonight's practice. Leaving any worries or stresses from the day just to one side for a moment. For the next 30 minutes or so, this is your time for you to declutter the mind, de-stress the body. Give yourself a little bit of self-love. Try to release any tension in the fingers and toes. And let the face be soft. With each exhalation, try to sink a little bit deeper. And just mentally scan the body, taking note of any discomfort or any tightness you might feel anywhere. And sending on the exhalation the breath, directing it towards those parts of the body that need a little extra love and care this evening. Filling the lungs and the belly with that lovely healing breath. And letting everything settle in that stillness. And then when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed if you want to, we're going to gently hug the knees into the chest, giving ourselves a little bit of a cuddle, rocking those knees right to left. And we're going to place the left foot onto the floor, and we're going to hug in our right leg. So you can either open the eyes and keep the gaze soft, or you can keep them closed, it's up to you. And we're just going to hug one leg into the ground, into the chest, and the other leg we're just going to place on the ground. If you want to increase that stretch, now we're going to extend that underneath leg and just hug the other knee in. So we're hugging that right knee, extending the left. Taking some nice breaths here. Squeezing a little bit deeper as we exhale. Inhaling, releasing the tension off a little bit and squeezing as we exhale. And then we're just going to release the tension off. We're going to clasp the hands behind that right leg, leaving the other one where it is. So we're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to try and straighten that right leg. Don't worry if it's not straight. We're just stretching off those hamstrings. Exhale and release. If that's too much, you can bend the underneath leg. Inhale. Exhale and stretch. And bend. Keep it out if you want to. So let's do a few more of those. So inhale. Exhale and stretch. Inhale and bend. Exhale and stretch. Inhale and bend. Couple more. And release. We're going to take the right hand to the right knee, and you're just going to do some hip circles with that right leg. The left hand, you can place it on your hip or you can place it out to the side in a T position. It's up to you. But just taking small circles to begin with, and then increasing them only if it feels nice, and change directions. Circling at that knee. And then placing that foot flat to floor and hugging the left leg in. So giving that left knee a big hug and taking some breaths here. Extending that right leg all the way out on the floor if you want to. Squeezing that left leg in towards you. So as the knee draws towards you, the right foot draws away, trying to find length. Make sure the shoulder blades are planted on the floor. Clasping those hands now behind the knee, off that left leg. And we're going to inhale. Exhale, try and straighten that leg. Inhale and bend. Noticing if this left side feels any different than the right. How do they feel today in comparison to other days? Inhaling as you stretch, exhaling as you bend. Few more with the breath. One more. And then release. Let go of the hands. Place the left hand onto the knee and circle it round. As we go. So little circles to begin with, making those circles a bit bigger as you do more rotations. And circle it the other way. And come to stillness. Hug both the knees in the chest. And this time we're going to lift the head and shoulders up, curling up into a tight ball. And then release it back down, planting both the feet flat to floor. We're going to curl up into our bridge pose. But we're going to do this one vertebra at a time. So arms by your sides, heels hip distance apart. You're going to take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to curl from the tailbone first, all the way up onto the shoulders. And exhale as we curl down. Inhale, sorry. Inhale. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. One vertebra at a time. Exhale as you lift, curling up. Inhale as you lower. We're going to do one more. We're going to hold it at the top. Curling up. One vertebra at a time, holding at the top. And we're just going to take our hands over our head. While we're in this bridge position, just squeeze, pressing through the feet, squeezing those glutes together. Bringing the arms back down the side, drawing the bottom, slowly curling it towards the floor. And then hug those knees into the chest again. Taking a rock side to side. And from here, we're going to take both our legs out and extend them all the way to the mat and take a full body stretch. Lengthening the toes away, lengthening the fingers away. Taking some breaths here. You can even go from pointing and flexing those toes as you feel that big full body stretch. And release. Bringing the arms back down to the sides. We're going to bend that right knee in. Take the right arm out to the side. Left hand on the outside of that knee. And just draw it across the body, gazing towards the right hand. Again, you can close down the eyes if you want to. Taking a few breaths in this spinal twist. Swapping over sides, left hand out to the side in our T position, right hand on the outside of the left knee, drawing that knee down to the ground, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor, gazing towards that left hand. Few more breaths. Bringing it back to center. And we're going to slowly roll over onto our all fours. So we're just going to come into our all fours position. And we're just going to take a couple of rounds of cat and cow. So we're going to inhale. Exhale as you drop the belly, lifting the head. Exhale the other way. And inhale. And in your own time, in your own breath, cat and cow. Moving through that spine, pushing into the hands. Let's do a few more rounds. And then after the last one, you're just going to come to a neutral spine and just rock the hips right to left. Just gently rocking side to side with those hips. And then you're going to sit the hips back onto the heels, taking the hands a little bit further away, melting the head down into our child's pose, melting the head into the mat. Taking those knees wide if you want to, toes together. Or leaving them narrow, whatever feels nice for you. And then we're going to come on to our all fours position. And then all the way onto our bellies. Nice and gently, nice and slowly. Just place your head in your hands for a few breaths. And just relax. Letting everything settle. And we're going to place the hands under the shoulders. And we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to just lift into a cobra, only as far as feels comfortable for you. Keeping those elbows wrapped in, lifting the heart, drawing the shoulders back and down, having space in the ears and the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. And then we're going to exhale all the way down to the mat, taking that head in the hands. Just a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to sweep the right arm round, bringing that right leg in, and see if you can grab hold of your foot or your ankle. If you can't, just pull the foot towards without taking the bind. If you can, hold it and squeeze it in. Squeeze the thighs together, pull the foot towards the bottom, keeping that knee on the floor for now. Taking a few breaths. And then we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, just lift the thigh off the floor. Kick the foot back out into the hand. Lifting the head. Just feeling that nice stretch in the lower back. If that's too much, just keep it on the floor. And release. Release the foot back down to the mat. And swap over, grabbing hold of that left. If you can't hold your leg, you can always hold your pants or if you've got any pyjamas on or your jogging bottoms, grab hold of them. Pulling it in towards the bottom. Resting the head in the right hand. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, kicking back with that foot into the hand. Lifting the head off the mat. Just taking a few steady breaths here. And release. Back down to the mat. Hands under your shoulders. I'm going to push back into all fours position. Then sit back into those heels, taking those knees wide into our child's pose. This time we're going to place our hands behind us, melting the head. If this position's uncomfortable, take one of your blocks or a cushion and just place it under your head. Makes this position much more comfy if you're struggling to get down all the way. Taking some nice breaths. And then slowly curl up to kneeling. So from this kneeling position, I'm just going to inhale the right hand up above our head. I'm going to take a side bend over, dropping the bottom off the heels if you want to increase that stretch a little bit more. Holding it there. Take that left hand further out to the side again if you want to increase that stretch, coming onto the fingertips. But keep the heart open, don't collapse down. And swap it over the other side. So inhaling and lifting, feeling length and taking it over. Just a little bit at first and then ease that bottom off the heels. Ease that right hand away, keeping the heart open. And let's bring it back. And then we're going to come onto a seated position. We're going to take both our legs out in front of us. And we're going to just flex the feet for now. We're going to place our hands on the floor beside us, pushing down into the mat. Feeling that length, feeling that expansion in the chest. Feeling energy in those legs as you push the toes back and the heels come off the floor. And relax. And then we're just gently going to fold over those legs, just as far as feels comfortable for you. If that's here, you need to bend those legs, even put a blanket or a cushion under those knees for support. It's our wind down time. Don't overstretch. Just let the body melt into these postures. you want to flex the foot and leave those feet bright and put your hands on them, you can do, and add a little bit more of a stretch, or keep it a passive stretch. Whatever feels good for you. Listen to the body. It always tells us what it needs. We just need to listen. And release. Crossing those legs. Just take a nice, easy cross position. Letting those knees be heavy, nice and tall. We're just going to take a little twist. So left hand onto the right knee, right hand pushing into the mat, just feeling that twist. Holding it there. Lengthening through the spine. Letting the worries of the day wash away. And swap it over. Right hand on the left knee, left hand behind. Lifting, drawing that head over that shoulder. Feeling that twist. And back to centre. We're going to place the right hand onto the head and gently just ease it down to the left. Lengthening all the side of that neck and taking some nice breaths in and out. You can move wherever it feels tight. Find that sweet spot that needs that little bit of extra stretch. And release, swapping it over. Drawing the left hand to the head, drawing it down to the left side. And release. I'm going to place both the hands onto the head, drawing it down, feeling that stretch. I want you to round the upper back as well as dropping the neck. So we feel that stretch across the shoulder blades as well. So pull the belly button back, draw those elbows in. One more breath. Releasing the hands. So we're going to come into a straddle pose. So we're going to take our legs wide, but not too wide that you're going to force it. And from this position, we're just going to flex our feet, try and lift our heels off the floor, and then we're going to point them down. Flex, lift, point and down. If you're struggling to keep that spine nice and straight, sit on a cushion or a blanket and just prop yourself up. It's really important in these nighttime stretches that you feel comfortable, and point the toes. Trying to calm down that nervous system, ready for sleep. Few more flexing and pointing, and then just release, letting it go. I'm going to try and take our left ear towards our left knee, but we're going to inhale our right arm up to the sky, and we're going towards that toe. Now this may be as far as you can go, but just see if you can go. The aim is that we're trying to get all the way over to grab that big toe. But don't worry if you're not there yet, it's okay. You might want to put your hand on the floor behind you and just support yourself as you find that stretch. I'm just going to hold it here for a few breaths. Keeping that chest open, don't fall forward. And then inhale and lift. back to centre. Just regroup, reset yourself in centre. Make sure that spine is nice and long before we lift that left arm. And exhale over towards that foot. Trying to go all the way over towards that toe. Make sure this other leg doesn't start to roll in. Knees should be on top. Try to draw that right ear down towards that right knee. Couple more breaths. Inhale and lift. And exhale, bringing those legs together and coming back down onto your mat, onto the backs. All the way. Giving those knees one last hug. Either be still or rocking side to side. We're then going to take the outside of our feet if we can. And we're just going to pull them down in our happy baby pose. So our knees are being drawn towards our armpits. Feet are flat to the ceiling. And you're just drawing the energy down from the ceiling all the way through the legs towards the armpits and into the mat. Taking some nice breaths. You can always take the inside of the feet if you can't quite reach the outside. Then we're going to release our hands and we're just going to place our legs in the air and just hold them there. Just let them be, let them feel loose, just let them hang. We're just going to do one little bit of a challenging posture before we relax completely. So we're going to take our arms out to the side while we're hanging our legs in the air, letting them just feel nice and relaxed. We're going to slowly in a moment lower those legs to the right side. If it's too much, I just want you to bend the legs and do it with bent legs. But we're going to inhale. And we're going to exhale, taking those legs all the way over. Slowly lowering them down to the ground. Try not to let that left shoulder lift off the floor. And then just release and feel that twist. If that's too much on the lower back, just bend the knees in or keep them straight out to the side. Like a few breaths here. Then when we're ready, inhale and lift. Slowly back up if you can. And just let them hover in the air. Let them relax. Wiggle those feet if you need to. One more breath here before we go over to the left. So we inhale and exhale and draw it down. All the way to the floor, trying to keep that right shoulder planted on the floor. Bending those knees if you need to, if it's too much pressure on your lower back. Taking a few breaths here. And then lift slowly all the way back up. Just briefly enjoy those legs just hovering in the air, and then place them on the mat. Soles of the feet together, drawing those knees. Let those knees flop out, and the hands are going to come above your head in a wide position. like starfish arms, drawing those knees down to the ground, and just like gravity. I find this pose really quite relaxing, the weight of gravity pushing those knees into the ground. Just notice the belly rising and falling with each breath. And then finally we're going to take our arms by our sides back to the place we began in our Shavasana. So this is where you can grab yourself a cushion, place it under the head or a blanket if you need to, or nice and comfy I want you to get now. You can take the arms a bit further away from the body and the legs and really just try to let everything go. So we're going to mentally scan the body this evening. But before we do, we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, and we're going to sigh it out through the mouth. In through the nose. And let it go. And again. One more. Really noticing that belly rise as you inhale. And exhale and release. Come into a normal, natural breath through the nose. And starting with the feet. I want you to feel them getting soft and relaxing. And then the lower legs and the calves and all the way up to the knees. Just let them go. Relax. Drawing up the thighs and the hips. And relax. Let them be soft. And heavy. Moving the way up to the abdomen. Into the belly and the chest. And relax. Let that softness radiate through the chest into the shoulders. And fall down the arms. Rolling that softness down the arms into the fingers. And let those fingers be soft and relaxed. Feel the neck and the throat be soft and relaxed. And that gentle wave is now going up to your chin and your cheeks and your nose and your eyes, and they all feel soft and relaxed. Finally, the muscles in the forehead. Just relax. Make sure all those muscles in the face feel soft, even if the mouth falls open slightly as that jaw relaxes. And then for the final moments of our Shavasana, just bring your awareness to your breath. Try, if there's any thoughts that enter your mind, to just let them float away. And just enjoy this moment of stillness as we prepare our mind and body for sleep. Enjoying those sensations that may be coming to the surface in the body right now as we find that stillness. I'm going to quietly close down the practice. But feel free to stay here as long as you like. There's no time limit on Shavasana. It's your time, whether it's 5, 10, 15, whatever you want. Just enjoy stillness. You can close to the practice with me, and if you are, we're going to gently roll onto the right side, placing the head on the hands and just staying on your side for a moment. Before slowly, when you're ready, coming up to sitting, placing the hands at the heart, with the eyes closed, head bowed. And then open the eyes, lift the head, and Namaste.